Okay, hi everyone. In this video, um, is for the secondary CCA 3D modeling. Okay, I'm going to give you two tasks. One is an easier one. We have learned how to create a border in the last lesson, but not everyone submitted your work. So I assume that you still cannot do yet. I'm going to increase the difficulty of of this requirement. So let's see what I'm expecting you to do today. First, as usual, start a new design. Okay, last lesson we learned how to create a border. Okay, border. So this lesson I'm going to improve on that. Okay, maybe this one let's make it as a standard 30 cm. After that, let's make it as a standard 3 mm, and let's make it as a circle. Okay. Then I want you to duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D. You can use different type of so let me just simply draw a shape, something that looks like a flower. Okay, flower shape. Okay, now I'm going to combine it to become one object. Okay, from here onwards, I'm going to create, I want you to create a border. This time, I do not want the border to be at its own border place. I want the border to be slightly inside. Okay, slightly inside here. And then thickness probably about 1 to 2 mm. And I think 2 mm. Okay, and you need to increase the height at least 1 mm. So for those who prefer a higher border, go for 2 mm. It is fine. Sometimes I personally prefer 1 mm because sometimes it depends on your design. What are you designing? Okay. Okay. You look at how I do this. Before I start, I will make another copy of this one. Okay. I keep it aside. And then for this one, I'm going to create the border with this one. But before I create that, again, I need to duplicate this. Okay, this time, very simple. What is the size of this object? Let's look at it. After combining is 57. If I'm going to create border, probably border should be slightly smaller. Let's look at how about 50, 54. Same for here, 54. Check 54. Okay, to make it easier for you to see, I change this to another color. Okay, looks fine for me. So what I'm going to do now is you have a few options here. I think the easiest way is increase this height. After that, you can drop this down. Can you see? Drop it down. But you need to make sure it's in the center. So select and then choose alignment, center. Oops. Again, alignment, center, center. Okay. Now you can see we are going to cut it to get the border. Okay. Now we got the border, and I want the border. Now I want the border to be slightly smaller. So what I do is I can either decrease the size of this or increase the size of this. Okay, this is totally up to you. So if I increase this one I can put as probably 60. Okay, to see the difference, let me change it to another color. Okay, now remember you need to lift it up. Okay, lift it up a bit. Okay, now if you look at this, okay, now it's slightly because it's 3 mm higher. So you see the height of this object now. It's up to you how many mm you want. since the snap grip is 1 mm, so every time you move is 1 mm, 2 mm. So we know that this is 3 mm height. Every step we move up is 1 mm. Okay, so at least 1 mm deep. Select both, alignment, center, center. Okay, now you can see you have created, this is the height of 2 mm. Okay, if you want a height of 1 mm, select it, drop one more level. So this is 1 mm border. Okay, so now you have the idea of how to create a border slide that is slightly inside. This is the first part. You can create this shape. There are other shapes that you can create. I want you to think. For example, one of the very common is the dog bone. Okay. Here you can choose whether you want to. Okay. Let's straight away start with this. Okay. Dog bone can be done using heart shape. Okay. Control D. Okay. You can try this. Alignment. Center. Alignment. Okay. Center it. So once you, but the distance itself is you have to manually adjust, or you can look at the grid to adjust properly. Once you merge it, you can create, this is a dog bone, so you can create border for the dog bone also, and then you can put text inside. Other than this shape, you can create key shapes. Okay, but you can use this one and this one, these two, square box and cylinder to create a key shape. I leave this to you, what type of key you want to create. But the major in objective of this exercise is create an inner border like this. After that, you can put any text you like, and of course, you can create a hole. So drag this up, hold down Shift key, then drag this down to create a hole. Okay, if you want to center hole, always combine first. After that, select both object, alignment, center. Okay, so just to make sure that this is in the center. So if your center is not really proper, for example, so in this case, you can manually adjust the center, whether you want to slightly, if you use the computer to adjust, at least we know that if you put a string, it will, it will balance, it will balance out. Okay, so you combine to create one hole here. Okay, same for the dog bone. You want to create a hole in here, up to you where you want to create, or you want to create a hook somewhere in here. This is your design. Okay, now I'm going to give a second uh, question or second task for those who already joined this club. Okay, you need to create this. I believe you can complete this very fast. So I want my second requirement to be, I want this. Okay, your job. Okay, your job is to create this kind of uh, board, notice board. And this notice board, I want you to design in such a way that it is used to put this kind of sticker note. Whether you want to put a big one, a bigger one like this, or a smaller one like this, up to you. If you create a smaller one, of course, it's cute and it's nice to see. So what I will give you is in the class, I'll give you this caliper. You can use this to measure precise length, height and length, okay, of this sticker note. But you do not need to create something as thick as this. Actually, you don't need to. As long as you can hold, which is I expect at about half the height of this, the thickness, at least half, okay, or half will do. Then, how about the back? You can create one with this, but the problem of this one is how do you create this connection point? because I do not want to print out an object with a lot of support which take more than 10 hours to print. So I will expect you to create this side only. So if you follow this design, we print both sides. Okay, we have both copy, one for the left hand side, one for the right hand side, and then it has to be flat, so that it will be smooth when we remove on the print date. Okay, now the question, how about the back? This is one type that you need to think how to solve this problem. You may have to use glue if you cannot interconnect with the a plastic connector. Okay, you can create one that can hold both pieces, or make it easy. You can use this idea. I want another stick and back. Okay. So your task, how do you put the stick? You can design a stick that is something like this. Okay, but you need to design this little connector. Hmm. Okay, let's see. Let's say this is how you're going to connect. Okay, as usual, select alignment center. Have I centered it? Not yet. Center. Okay. Then you also need to cut a hole. You need to cut a bigger hole. How to cut a bigger hole of this one? Very simple. Duplicate this object. Okay, you don't need such a long. Now, what is the length? What is the thickness? 4. Just make sure this is 4. Hmm. Okay, so you make it transparent. Okay. So when you prepare the board, yeah, okay, just to make sure that, oops, you make a hole. Okay, you make a hole of this object at the back. Okay, um, it depends if you want to make this smaller, and then you put this section. I want you to think you can actually make this section bigger. Okay, so you can actually insert this entire area behind. For this area, I want you to think. So before you merge, you just need to make sure that you are exactly in the center, so that later when you create the stick can actually have, make sure it's long enough. Make sure you check all the length. Okay, make sure it's correct. Before you when I print, it will be upside down. So because the front section will have this support, so I have to print it from the back. The back is actually on the floor. Okay, so I let you design this section. I want you to think how you put this section in. Okay, I have given you the idea, but I cannot give you all the answer, and I want to see how you think. Okay, this is for those of who can complete this. If you think that is too easy, you can complete in 10 minutes. So I expect you to create something more complicated, and I'll give you this the information. You find out the length, the width, x, y, and the z during the lesson. Okay, that's all for this lesson. Thank you.